Okay, it looks like we are live, and I apologize, we are late, about 10 minutes late, and this was kind of optimistic, me scheduling this for 5. I knew I was going to be a little bit pressed, and I was. And of course, folks call at the least appropriate time. Let's see if we have audio. I don't hear any audio yet. Let's see if we have any audio. Okay, it sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, and a bunch of folks in the chat. Sorry again that I'm late. David's in the house with a wrench, and he says, "Hi, Craig, and all have to miss live today. May make tail end. Otherwise, we'll catch the replay. Stay safe and healthy." Carlos says, "Stay safe, David. Have a good one, David." It's from Durr. And hello, all. Hope everyone is and feels well. Peter in the house. Craig is running behind today. He's late to the party. Absolutely, Durr. Late to the party for sure. Might be going Rolex over GS. Jaden in the house. R. Wags is in the house. And let's see. Miss R. Wags wanted me to tell Chipster. Oh, let me switch over to me here. Big hello from her. She thinks you're cute. Oh, well, there you go. All right. All right. Maybe she needs to get her eyes checked, though. There's that. But yeah, I'll take it. I'll take compliments anytime, anywhere. Carlos in the house, and our wags to Durr and Carlos. He says, "I hope you get the 18 karat gold day date. I have mine for over 35 years, and I still love it." Our wags in the house with his day date, bark finish day date, 1807, I believe. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm missing. Hello. Hello. Okay, we're getting caught up 10 minutes, 19 seconds late, according to the SBGA 299 during the house. All right, so here's the deal. We could have some issues with our broadcasts. Yesterday's broadcast just stopped. The internet is, I think, getting really taxed with everybody at home watching Netflix, and it's just, I think the internet is a little bit overtaxed. I've noticed on Facebook things loading slow. I've noticed some general lagginess and sloppiness in the internet that normally is not there. So we could be going into a time of some issues with some broadcasting. So we're going to try to hold it together and do as best we can with the bandwidth that we have, with the uplink that we have. So I wasn't planning on ending the show abruptly yesterday, but sometimes with the internet, you never know. So that's where we are. And now the reason I put the day date on the thumbnail, and I want to talk about the day date. Durr brought it up. He sent me the email. My internet is running slow too, Craig. That, and I've been having cell phone reception issues too. Yeah, did some calculations today. There are 14,000 coronavirus cases in the U.S. with 325 million U.S. citizens. That calculates the chances currently of getting the virus at... Well, what they're claiming is that it's going to get a lot worse. What they're claiming is that a ton of people are going to get this thing. And what they're claiming is they want to buy time so that they can get the medical facilities up to speed so that they can handle the coming onslaught. So that's what the authorities are saying is the situation, and that's why they are taking these extreme measures to try to slow the spread of the virus while they gear up and get ready for the onslaught. They're saying that people are going to get it no matter what. No matter what we do, people are going to get it. That's the general consensus. But what they're trying to do is slow it down enough so that they can get ready for the onslaught, and so that hopefully they can spread out the onslaught a little bit. So that's the theory that they're going on. And you know, the thing that is concerning to me, and I mentioned it to one of my liberal friends, and he doesn't care, of course, is people don't seem to grasp the concept of if you're broke, the last thing you need to do is go out and spend a whole bunch of money, right? Whether you be an individual or a business or a government. It's usually not a good solution when you're broke to go out and spend a whole lot of money. And that's what the government is doing. The government is broke, heavily in debt, and now they want to go out and spend a ton of money. So that is usually a recipe for disaster for an individual, for a company, for a government, to go heavily in debt and to continue doing so. So that we don't hear a whole lot of discussion about. But that's why I'm buying even more Bitcoin, by the way. I am buying Bitcoin. So let's see. We went from 2 cases 11 days ago to over 504 deaths now in Michigan. Here, the water was starting to be a problem. Today, we had rain, and it seems that rainy season is starting in Panama. Healthy people won't die from this virus. There you go. Liberal and friends are two words I typically don't put in the same sentence. And this guy always claims he's a conservative, right? But there are few of them left in the world, I think. Very, very few. So he's one of these guys that like, oh, well, sending checks to everybody, this will help the economy. People will have money to spend and so forth. Well, whatever happened to the old-fashioned thing like go out and earn your own living, right? Heaven forbid that people actually take care of themselves and their family. Heaven help us if that were to actually happen. Do not underestimate the virus. Here in the UK, we are on lockdown. It's really no joke whatsoever. Well, the lockdown is certainly no joke. I mean, they're closing businesses here in Maryland. A number of my clients, Wag's Restaurant, they shut him down. I mean, they're shutting these places down, and it is no joke. This is a major thing. I think we're going to have another sell-off on Monday in the stock market. I think that we could see another 20% down in the market if they keep going the way they're going with shutting everybody down and doing this kind of harm to the economy. This is no joke. That's right. The virus may be the least of our worries if things keep going the way they're going. Jaden, Bitcoin is moving nicely. Well, it's kind of sideways right now. It was up. It's down some from where, but this is what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin goes up and down, up and down. Let's pull up the chart here real quick before we get into the ROLEX day-date. Before we talk about the day-date, because day-dates are always a good thing to talk about. I say, that's what I say. That's what I say, and this is loading in. It's loading kind of slow. Well, we'll see if that loads in, and then I can switch to it. Let's see. Be your serve. I don't know how you pronounce that. You got to get a handle that I can pronounce easier. Went to a Watch AD hoping to score deals from them and their time of crisis, but they were closed. There you go. All right, this page is not loading. Let me see if I can check on my phone. If I can check on the current price of Bitcoin on my phone. Okay, I'm seeing $6,440. $6,440 is what I'm seeing right this moment. It's a very fluid situation. Very fluid. Let's see. Trump Yang 2020. Trump is doing these giveaways, UBI, to get Bernie voters. There you go. Of current cases divided by population is not the same percentage as the percent chance of getting it. There you go. Craig is buying Bitcoin and piling up cash. Does money grow on trees in Maryland? Oh, boy. Craig, at what cost to the American economy, as well as the destruction of the American way of life and individual investments, medicine is the medicine worth the result? I hear you. I would not have taken these steps if heaven forbid, if I was in charge. First of all, if I was in charge, I would have shut down China a long time ago. Okay, China would have been out of the equation. All right. I think you guys know my feelings on China. So probably it would have never ever come here. But in any event, I would have shut them down a long time ago. And as far as, let's say we got to the situation where the virus was spreading around the world, what I would have done is I would have suggested that anyone that's at risk self-quarantine with their family or whatever, self-quarantine and do their best to stay away from getting the virus. And then I would have that would have been a voluntary thing. It wouldn't have been a forced thing. It would have been a voluntary thing. And then I would have just let everything else go the way it's going to go. I mean, as long as the most vulnerable protect themselves from getting the virus, and then in the meantime they're working on a vaccine and all, then and their family and maybe their church or whatever could help out if they were elderly and they can't afford food or whatever, and they can't really afford to just stay home, then friends, family, and other community members could pitch in to help them out. But I'm not a big one on the government doing any of that. I don't think it's the government's job. So yeah, I would have handled things completely differently. Let's see here. Hi all, change of plans, able to join in after all. David's in the house. Carlos, yesterday I was working in the neighborhood and he was going to lay off. I was walking in the neighborhood and he was going to lay off half the employees. Oh, so I guess you went and you talked to a business owner? Okay. And Canada, 500,000 have filed for unemployment this week. My mortgage broker is getting a mass amount of calls of people asking for him to underwrite 20 to 30K home equity loans. What the hell? I mean, everybody might as well just borrow all the money they can, just go max out all their credit cards. Let's all just live like there's no tomorrow, right? What the hell? I mean, this is amazing. This is just amazing. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay in cash for a while. I don't know. I hate to tell you guys, I think the market might take some more hits. Okay, I think things are not looking real good right now. We must as well remember, as more kits come out, the more cases will be. May not be spreading as we think. Just verification they have it. I agree. Well, wait till inflation. Yeah. If I get Trump bucks, it's going towards a Glock. China owes us reparations. Well, hell yeah. I would certainly, and I said that to my buddy. I think I told you this story yesterday, that I would send the bill to China for the whole damn mess. I'd send the bill to China. If they said they didn't pay, I would first of all cancel out any debts, any money we owe them, and that would go towards it. And then I would simply tell them that, okay, you can't sell into this country until you pay off the entire debt. I'd cut them off completely, cut them off at the knees. Whoosh, whoosh. And my buddy says, oh, if you do that, if you default on the loans, we won't be able to borrow any more money. I said, thank goodness for that. as if the United States government needs to borrow any more money, as in debt as they are. The last thing they need to do is borrow more money. And he says, oh, you can't talk like that. That's crazy talk. Well, that's what we get on this channel. We get some crazy talk occasionally on this channel. What do you guys think about that? Today I've been making extra hand sanitizer with aloe vera gel and some of the ethanol that I got yesterday. Carlos in the house. Craig, it's not the coronavirus we have to fear, but the restrictive and all-powerful government. Absolutely, my gosh. And the printing and spending money like drunken sailors. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big problem. But, this is it when things like this happen. Well, this is a one-time thing. I mean, this is, we seem to be having one-time things pretty often here lately. After 9/11, they restricted all our freedoms, and we can't even take a pocket knife on the plane, and all kinds of draconian new laws and ways to surveil us and so on and so forth and grow. My gosh, how many new agencies did they create? How much did they grow government? Don't get me started on all that. One Mark Gober a few hours ago told people to not sell their steel Rolexes last week. He said differently. This is crazy talk. So here's the thing. He just said yesterday, yeah, I saw a thing he did, wasn't it yesterday, that he told people that they shouldn't sell. And he also said that watches are not investments. He's sounding like me. He said watches are not investments. Since when did he come around to that way of thinking? I thought he was saying Rolexes were going to keep going up and up and up forever, and that you can't have too many steel sports Rolexes, and it's a great place to put your money. And all of a sudden now they're not good investments. And all of a sudden now he's saying you should just buy watches you like and that you enjoy, and not buy them to resell and so on and so forth. I don't know. I get confused with what the dog man's message is these days. I mean, the dog man seems to be all over the place with his messages. The problem, China, and by the way, folks, if you have steel sport Rolexes that you have a lot of money in, you better sell them quick. You better get out of them as soon as possible. If you can get your money out, which that's a big if, but if you can get your money out of this, quote, investment, I'd get it out as soon as you possibly can. Sell those steel Rolexes with the quickness. And there's a steel watch that we don't have to sell, because that's only a $3,000 watch. So we can buy that watch and wear it and enjoy it and have a great timepiece on our wrist. Here's another stunner that you can buy that's affordable, comparatively speaking. And some guy put a comment on one of my videos. Maybe it was a video from yesterday. Oh, that bracelet is terrible. What are you talking about, that bracelet? Look at the bracelet. It's freaking gorgeous. It's freaking gorgeous. I've got it extended some, by the way. See here? People say, well, when it's extended, it looks terrible, right? Doesn't look that bad. I just clicked it in a notch, by the way. Oh, there's the lovely Brianna sending me a text message. That's a priority message. Okay. She just said, I love you, so that's okay. That's a short little thing. She doesn't realize we're live. Bree, I'm live. I'm going to say, Bree, I'm live. I'm live. Live. Okay, there we go. She should know. Come on. She's got the bell clicked. But anyway, getting back to this bracelet, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And I can extend it by just lifting this flip lock. See how much I can extend it real quick, like? And then see how I can just click it in one notch at a time? See? One little notch at a time till I get it exactly where I want it. I love it. I mean, it's really handy. Really, really handy. And super, super comfortable. And I think it looks stunning. Let's do a close-up. You can't tell me that that's not a stunner. Some people just have no freaking taste. Have you guys run into that in the wild out there, wandering around loose? Have you realized that some people just don't have any taste? By the way, I'm ready for heavy-duty action. I'm wearing my Egyptian cotton safari shirt that I bought from Banana Republic back in the day when they were based out of San Francisco, and they were selling like real stuff instead of the junk. Are they out of business now? Anyway, after the couple that started the company sold out, they started selling a bunch of crap in the malls. But this was back when they had their mail order store in San Francisco, and this is Egyptian cotton safari shirt that I'm wearing now. Let's see here. The problem, China makes pretty much all of our medicine, 90% of antibiotics and other meds. Well, I don't take any meds. If you take care of yourself, you don't need a whole bunch of drugs. So that takes care of that. Cut them off. Whoosh. Cut them off at the knees. Whoosh. Yeah. This whole thing with everybody taking all kinds of medications and stuff. Oh my gosh, I need my medications, you know. We've all become a nation of freaking drug addicts. It's ridiculous. Eat the right things, exercise, you know, hang out with the right people, and you won't need all those drugs. That's my advice on that. Crazy talk today on Saturday, folks. This is crazy, crazy, crazy talk. If I can survive the Jack Daniels virus from my college years, I can get through the coronavirus. There you go. All right, yes, odd how we've gone so fast from steady economy to an environment that creates dependence on government. Coincidence? I'm skeptical. David in the house. Eldest daughter's boyfriend was betting in for the long run, but he got flipped back his mama this morning. He has costing me a day date and food each week. Okay, there you go. Mark Goldberg isn't talking unless it's out of both sides of his mouth. Jaden in the house. Goldberg buys watches while begging for cat food. Gave up on him years ago. What do you think of the hybrid Explorer perpetual Rolex 36 millimeter Arabic blue dial as an everyday cheap beater? Thanks for your reviews on SBGN. I purchased the black for a heck of a deal. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that's a beater. You might not need an everyday beater if you've got an 003 as the black, right? The SBGN 003. But to answer your question, Oyster Perpetual is always a fantastic option for a beater, and that's a heavy use watch. And we're going to talk about the ultimate heavy use, daily use watch here in a minute when we get to the subject of this live stream. Let's see. Yeah, Peter, that one's very nice. Absolutely. Craig, what's up with Brianna? She your chick? I want to take her out. Well, you can ask her out and see what she says. I don't have property rights. She's not my chattel. Bree and I get along. We get along very nicely, and I like Bree, but yeah, I'm not. I do not. I don't have a claim on Bree. So, but she is very picky. So she only hangs around with successful people. So as long as you can fit the mold, you might be okay. Let's see. So good luck with all that. And let's see, the 116000 Rolex. Okay. Not sure as cheap beater though, Carlos. Yeah. I haven't wore my SBGA 229. It's about 3 months, and I put it on for today's show, and it's like a honeymoon all over again. Such a beautiful watch and a piece of art. There you go, Durr in the house. I still think you should have gotten the 231. But anyway, that's a beauty too. But yeah, I think the 231, you'd really be amazed at the comfort on wrist. On the far side of the crisis, a fair question to ask is, where were our exalted intelligence agencies in early December when it first broke in Wuhan? Did they know? If not, why did they miss it? Good point. Speaking of the lovely Brianna, she's in the house. Brianna says hello, and there you go. And let's pull up Bree's website. Her webpage, briefitdance.com. The lovely Brianna will pull that up. There it is. There, she's blowing you a kiss in that picture. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? The lovely Brianna. There we are. We're hiking up on the mountain near Camp David at an undisclosed location. We were hiking up on the mountain and took that photo. I took that one out in the yard here out last fall, out in the yard. Took that one in Annapolis, in beautiful downtown Annapolis. And took that one at Adventure Park, USA. Scroll this up a little bit so you can see more of the photos. Adventure Park, USA. Took that at Adventure Park. She was eating one of the pizzas, one of the lovely pizzas. That was a good pizza. Took that at Adventure Park also. In the hay, a roll in the hay. A roll in the hay with the lovely Brianna. See that backlight on her hair? Isn't that kind of cool? A little bit of backlight there. And Brianna is in really good shape. Yes, Brianna's in really good shape. That's the way that works. And there, we're still at Adventure Park with that picture. And let's see what else is on here. Oh, that one was here. That's one of my Gitman Brothers shirts. She likes my Gitman Brothers shirts. So, and that's my Oxford, that's the alpaca. My Oxford alpaca, and there she is in a bikini. Whoa, whoa! She does a number on a bikini. I'm here to tell you. And there she is in my. That used to be my favorite cashmere sweater, but she appropriated that. And so there we go. That's. You can see the rest of all the photos on BrieFitDance.com. BrieFitDance.com. So it's a little plug for the lovely Brianna. Okay, so Democrats should be accountable for all this because the opportunity cost of the attention missed because of the impeachment. Uh-oh, there you go, holding the Democrats responsible. All you need is some vitamin C, Jack Daniels, and a couple of Hoffman subs, and you'll live forever. There you go. And Hoffman's, they are still open for business. They said there might be some problems with them getting some of the bread, so they might have to actually start making the bread there. That's doable. Let's talk 118-238-118238, and we'll also talk the 18238. Let's do it. And Brett says hi to Bree. Pleasure to meet you. And Carlos says hello, Bree Coin. Bree Coin is bullish. Agreed, not cheap. Okay, Craig, you're right. Probably should have got the 231. I've been a big fan of the titanium ever since I picked up the Snowflake. There you go. You think Bree would go for Archie or Clive? And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. She's got pretty good taste. I don't think that's going to happen. So there you go. Does anyone know what year Rolex switched to the milled clasp out on the yeah, that was about roughly 2004. 2004 they switched to that beak clasp. I call it the one with the beak. Where you pull it up to release it. Yeah, 2004 roughly. Maybe it's hard to say what time of the year in 2004. Could have been spring. What is HODL? Hold on for dear life. Hold on for dear life. Holy crap, did you see that slice of pizza? There you go. Also, check out my new belly dancing video on my channel. Yeah, Bree's got a new video on her channel. And by the way, Brett, you can start by becoming a Patreon on her Patreon. That'll get your foot in the door a little bit. Sign up as a Patreon on her Patreon at least the $25 level, because, oh my gosh, you can't be cheap, right? So go there and sign up as a Patreon, and that'll get your foot in the door a little bit. That'll get you a video chat probably with her too, if you play your cards right. RWAG, sadly, I think the leaders knew, but they did not pay it to no mind because of the political fightings. There you go. Craig, check out your Gmail. I sent you my Rolex. Brent in the house. Throw up a nice pic and tell me what you think. I'll do that. Hold on for dear life. Hodl indeed. Yeah, Brianna's got a strong hand. She is not selling her Bitcoin. Period. Full stop. She is not selling her Bitcoin. All right, let's pull up this photo, and then we're going to talk Rolex day dates. We're going to talk day dates. Oh, look at this date just. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, that's a good-looking watch. I like the black dial. I like the whole thing. Now, personally, I like the Jubilee bracelet and the white fluted bezel. But having said that, I do like this piece. I would, I would not fault you one bit for getting this particular piece. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic piece. But I like the Jubilee bracelet. My first Datejust had the Jubilee bracelet. It had the Jubilee that was made in these United States. But yeah, I like the Jubilee. But no, that's also a nice piece. My Patreon of the $25 tier is amazing. It is. Wow, it absolutely is. And Brianna is amazing. Brianna is a doll. Okay, she is an absolute doll and a joy to be around. So there's that. So if you can hang out with Brianna, the more you can hang out with her, the better off you are. That's what I say. Very nice watch. Craig, I like the bracelet. That's a stunner, but I agree Jubilee and fluted is the way to go during the house. Yeah, I'll tell you though, that's a good-looking watch. I like the black dial, the way that it looks more sporty. The whole setup looks a little more sporty. And so if you want that look, yeah. And of course it would be less money too without the fluted bezel and the Jubilee. So you save a little bit of money too. So there's that. Okay, let's go to the let's go to the 18238 and 118238. Anyway, and here's the thing. Now this is the one that Durr sent me, so I'm kind of competing with him by showing this. You know, he's trying to make offers on this piece, but I just thought that it's a really stunning piece, and I thought we would talk about the whole concept of a Day-Date as a heavy use, daily use watch. As you know, I wore Day-Dates for about 40 years on and off. Primarily in rotation with a steel Rolex, and in some cases in rotation with a Omega. I had a Seamaster 120 that my Day-Dates were in rotation with, and it is a heavy use sport watch. The Day-Date. It can take a licking. Okay, it's not meant to be a safe queen. That is meant to be worn and used. And especially this one with the solid links and everything, it's probably going to hold up real well. Now, the newest version has the ceramic pins going through the center links that will mitigate the wear issue on the President bracelet even further than just the solid links on this 6-digit Day-Date. But this one should hold up really well. Your microphone sounds bad. I just got in. Is something wrong? Uh-oh. Is there something wrong with the audio, folks? Can somebody confirm that? Big price difference between the 18238 and one. Yes, there is. Let me refresh this and see what's going on with the audio. Solid links on this 6-digit Day-Date. But this one should hold up really well. Sounds pretty good to me. Anyway, I don't know why the audio would sound bad on your end. Okay, BTC and Rolex, great watch, good thing, Datejust. Okay, so looking at current dial options, it seems like Rolex want to position the current 36 millimeter woman's watch. There's only one viable option per metal, champagne on yellow gold, silver on white gold. A Day-Date is the ultimate. Your microphone sounds, okay, I already read that. Big difference in price between those. Okay. Joey, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Craig, any plans to get the Bitcoin Meister back to underscore? Yes, hopefully when he gets into Maryland, hopefully I'll get him in here and we'll have maybe a live stream. Audio is loud and clear. Okay, there, audio's fine there. Okay, audio fine, good, audio good. Craig, what is your email address? Can I send you photos of an Omega? Absolutely. It's my name, CraigShipp@gmail.com. CraigShipp@gmail.com. Audio is fine here. It sounds like it's lower quality than normal. Maybe it's my Bluetooth. Yeah, it could be that. Okay, so let's see if there are any other pictures here while we're going through the pictures. Yeah, there's the box. There's see what I really like about this one, I like that white dial. I wish I said this the other day, if my Day-Date had a dial like that, the white, see, mine had the silver, which is kind of had less contrast between the hands and the and the dial. This dial looks like it would be more legible. And it's gorgeous. That is absolutely a gorgeous dial combination. And yes, you pay more money when you go to the 6-digit, especially when you get one with this clasp. Let's show the clasp. I think they have the clasp in here. Let's see. I think they have it. Yeah, there it is. Especially when you have that newer clasp, that ups the price a little bit. And so, yeah, that's where you get up into this higher price point. The 18238 is a fantastic piece. My last one that I had that I sold was 19 years old when I sold it. I bought it new. I wore it a fair amount. Of course, in rotation with steel Rolexes all the time. But it got a lot of use. It got a lot of wrist time. And the bracelet was still in great shape. So I guess some people have more issues with the bracelet stretch than others, and maybe it has to do with how well you take care of the watch. Maybe it has to do with how you fit it on your wrist. I understand if you wear them too loose on your wrist, they tend to wear quicker because a lot more movement on those links. But I have to say, I didn't have that much problem with bracelet stretch, even though mine was an 18238 with the center links had the hollow. Would it be a better move to pay less money and get a mint condition 18238? Maybe. I also do like the brushed on the case, whereas this model here, it's all polished. I like the brushed and polished that see how it's all polished on the top of the lugs there? On the top of the lugs on the 18238, it's brushed there, and then it's polished on the side. It's a little bit better look for me. And I also think, and maybe somebody can confirm in the chat, that the 18238 might be a little bit thinner than this newer model. Can somebody confirm that in the chat, that there might be a little bit of a thickness difference there also? Now, of course, the 18238 would be more comfortable on wrist because it is a little bit lighter. And so it's going to be a little bit more comfortable on wrist. These people would say, oh, I like heavy. The heavier, the better. I don't know where they're getting that from. The heavier the watch, not the better. You do want it to be solid and well-made and all that, but I get all that with this titanium. It's solid and well-made, but guess what? It's light because it's titanium. Still super strong, stronger than stainless steel, and of course harder because of the alloy that Grand Seiko uses. Let's see here. Let's see. Craig, don't mind me, but how much are you worth in bitcoins? Brett BC. Yeah, we can't share that information, please. And if you acquire Bitcoin, never tell people how much Bitcoin you have, because you can become a target. It's not a good idea to tell people how much Bitcoin you have. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go on record right now to say that I actually don't have any Bitcoin at all. I've actually don't have any Bitcoin at all, officially. That's my official statement. So yeah, it doesn't help to have Bitcoin and theoretically an unconfiscatable asset if you tell people how much Bitcoin you have. So that's not a good idea. It's best to keep whatever amount of Bitcoin you have secret. Yeah, and just accumulate and just keep getting more. You can never have too much. That's what I say. No, not financial advice, but you can never have too much. Let's see here. Carlos, my grandfather had that combination. I have him in my memory wearing that since I was a little kid. Which combination? What watch are we talking about? You talking about the white dial, day-date with the white dial? Just sent you an email, links for Mega. Okay, let me pull that up. Give me a moment. And then I also have some news on the 002. Okay, here's the, scroll down to the 11th image on the web page for good photographs, okay? 11th image. Well, actually, I'm going to show all of this. This first image looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I like that case shape. I like that design. That case looks a lot like the 002 gold stunner that we've been talking about on the channel. That looks good. All these pictures look good. Yeah, that's sharp. I think it is. I wonder how thick that watch is. It looks like it's, you know, relatively trim on wrist. I wonder what the official number is. And that one is $92.50 retail. There's a watch with diamonds. Nice looking pieces. And I would not want to watch with diamonds, personally, for me. Now for Brianna, that would be a different story. Now there's a gold, I guess, is that gold or is that just the way the light's hitting it? It looks like it might be gold. Yeah, 18 karat yellow gold. Yeah, that's a stunner. Maybe that's the one he was talking about? Yeah, that's an absolute stunner. Yeah, that's a competitive option for the 002. Let's show up the 002 one more time here. And there is the 002. And I do have some news on the 002. Not necessarily good news. Two things. Okay. Okay, let's see. The white dial for me is best combination. Okay, good. Yep. Was just testing you, Craig. Okay. Hold on for dear life. Why does Rolex use Roman numeral 3 for the 4-hour marker instead of IV? Good question, if that's the case. But in any event, I don't like Roman numerals on my watch. I think that makes it look busy. I like the like we just saw on that other day-date. I like those markers much better. That is a beautiful old school looking Omega, blue face and 18 karat. There you go. And question for all, out of curiosity, which dive watch would you recommend? Sub, deep sea, excluded. Well, come on, David. Of course, the 231 Grand Seiko, the SBGA 231, this piece right here. I mean, you know, what other dive watch would you possibly need or want? I think you can't get any better than that. Yes, day-date, yellow gold with white dial was my grandfather's watch on my mother's side, and my father's side, my grandfather had a Datejust with silver dial. Cool. Yeah, the day-date with the white dial is a good bet. That pick of the 002 to the right was a decent pick of a blue-faced Citizen. Oh, yeah, but I don't like that case. I don't like that case on the Citizen. That's kind of an ugly case design, if you ask me. Okay, all right. So on the, getting back to the 002, so talked to Steve today, and he's having trouble getting through to, now this is what Steve told me. I'm not saying this is, I'm just telling you what I've been told, that he's been having trouble getting through to the Grand Seiko people, and he doesn't know if his shipment is going to be delayed. He doesn't know if the watch is going to come the end of this month like he promised. And so we're totally up in the air at this point. So, and I've said this several times, this is not up to me, this whole thing. And Grand Seiko, unfortunately, could care less about CraigShip. So I get no priority treatment whatsoever. And if he's having trouble getting the pieces, there's nothing I can do about it. I have no sway, no pull, no nothing. So I'm at the mercy of what happens, and what happens, and we'll see if I get the call. I feel like I'm dealing with Rolex ADs at this point. I mean, this is really, this is really sad, right? I mean, thank goodness I've got the 231 on wrist, and I've got the 005, because I probably wouldn't even be able to get them at this point. I'm basically being treated like a redheaded stepchild here, folks. Just the way it's going, all right? So, not that I'm bitter. Um, Peter C., never say you have any. There you go. The white dial for me is the best combination for the 118. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I just read that one. It's a beautiful. Okay, read that one. Read that one. Yes. Okay, good. All right. 231 does not work for me only because of the size for me. We did. Okay, I got you. David, man, you don't really need a diver, do you? Just stick with your GMT stunner. My goodness, you got a stunner there. I think that'll help handle any kind of swimming or any diving that you do. But I guess if you have to have a diver, I guess there are some smaller options out there somewhere. Galashute original CQ stunning piece. Wonder what the size of that is. Go is a good brand. I'm not familiar with Go. Interesting. Okay. Shipments could be delayed up to 2 months from what I've read. Peter C. in the house from Japan. Unfair GSOs use some kind of special treatment. Carlos in the house. Yeah, well, it ain't happening. That is not happening. And let me tell you, let me give you the extent that it's not happening. All right, let me show you what was just listed on eBay. Give me a second here. All right, give me a second here. I mean, this is unbelievable. All right, this was just listed on eBay in 002 for $19,950. This is the watch box, folks, right? They are actual GS dealers, and they do this where they get a GS in, and they basically sell it as a used watch, but it's actually a brand new watch, and they discount it. And here it is. Here's the listing. Straight up 002, brand new. Okay? So clearly they got one, right? They got an 002. They've got it in stock. There's the box and everything. Right? So they've got it in stock and for sale on eBay. And Craig has been talking about this watch for months and how I would like to have one and I'd like to see touch and feel one and blah, 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 blah. And meanwhile, they ship the watch to Watchbox instead of Steve. So they could care less. Not that I'm bitter. Not that I'm bitter. And no, I'm not going to go buy it from Watchbox. That's a decent price. But I think I could even do better than that. But they say make an offer. Look, it's make offer. Yeah, right? But no, I'm not going to buy it from them. If I buy it at all, I'll buy it from Steve. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get one. Anyone else enjoying a nice adult beverage right now? I got a Grand Seiko diver on the wrist and Jack Daniels single barrel in the glass. What's everyone else wearing? Wristwatch check. By the way, if this broadcast gets cut off, it's just because the internet glitched, right? I mean, I'm not going to just cut off the broadcast, right? If that happens, it's because of the equipment or the internet connection or both. So there are more photos below that Omega I sent you. The watch has coaxial escapement, which is very robust. It also has time zone complication that advances the hour hand without hacking. There you go. Well, I'll look offline at the rest of the pictures, and at some point, if I end up over at Steve's, I'll look at some Omegas. But my whole reasoning for buying the 002 was I really wanted the spring drive. I wanted that silky smooth second hand. I wanted the accuracy of the spring drive. I'm just enamored with that watch. It's not like I've got to go out and buy a dress watch. It's not like I'm pressed, right? I can wear the 005 fine as my dress watch. It works fine. It's trim enough. It goes underneath all my cuffs. So it's not like I'm pressed. So if I'm going to get something, it's going to be what I want. I'm not just going to buy something just to buy it. And I'm not enamored with getting an Omega at this point. So yeah. Have an Omega PO. You have seen it in person. Was simply curious to get people's non-Rolex ideas. Okay. What's going on? Kevin in the house. I can say that if the 231 was 40 millimeter, I would dash to it straight away. A lot of people have asked for them to make a smaller diver, but again, they don't listen to us. They could care less, I think. That's how that all works. Just logged in. If you're considering, just logged in. Are you considering a day date? No, I probably will not buy another day date. I doubt it. Again, I've got the legibility issue with reading it. That's why I sold mine. And also I've gotten spoiled by the accuracy of the spring drive and the 005 with the 9F movement. I've just been totally spoiled by the accuracy of those watches. So I don't think I could go back to a day date at this point. Craig, I just sent you an email about a really neat diver. Check it out. During the house. Let's take a look. We will pull this puppy up. Yeah, that looks like that's pretty cool. Looks pretty legible, and I don't mind the numerals like that. I mean, and the hand with the pointer on that's similar to what the 231 has. The minute hand with the point. What do you call that? An arrowhead. But yeah, that looks like a decent looking piece. See what else we got here. Yeah. I mean, for me, of course, I'd just go with the 231 and be done with it. But yeah, that's not a bad looking piece. Not a bad looking piece. Yeah. Let's see. Adult beverage coming later. Wife doesn't allow drinking after 10. I'm wearing a Rolex 18 karat Oyster Perpetual with alligator watch band. Oh, so you took your president bracelet off the day date? Interesting. You should send us a picture of that combo. That is a nice. Day dates do look good on a strap. But the president bracelet is hard to freaking beat. That's for sure. Let's see. That's a nice watch, David Williams. Okay. Okay. Craig, big mistake selling that presidential. Come on. Well, I mean, to each their own. I mean, I wasn't wearing it. It was spending most of the time in the watch box, and I do not buy watches just to store them. So, yeah. And trust me, I didn't make the decision lightly to sell it. I just finally got to the point where, hey, I'm just not wearing this thing hardly at all, and I'm every time I want to wear it, I've got to reset the day and the date, and it just got to be kind of a hassle. And so when that happens to me with a watch, they go down the road. I don't keep them if I'm not wearing them. So yeah, that's how that goes. But I enjoyed them for years. For many, many years, I enjoyed them. And when my eyes were great, I mean, they were great. And when I was wearing suits more often and all that, and it was a great, very versatile watch. I have sung the praises of day dates many times. It's a fantastic, it is the best all-around sport watch that you can buy. All around do anything watch that you can buy. Extremely rugged. They hold up great. These people that say, oh, well, 18 karat yellow gold's like butter. It scratches so easily. Mine was beautiful after 19 years of heavy use. It was beautiful. They get a patina. They wear fine. There's no issues with those watches. They're extremely rugged, and they're meant to be worn day in and day out. And they're waterproof. You can take them in the spa or whatever, wherever the hell you go. I mean, I never took mine off. I water skied with mine. You know, I mean, who the hell cares? I mean, you buy these watches to use. They're a fantastic watch. But right now I have better solutions. This 231 is super legible. It's super accurate. It's super comfortable on wrist. That watch there is even trimmer than the Day-Date was and more comfortable on wrist and works as an all-arounder and has the GMT function. So I've got better options right now. Do I have a gold stunner? No, I don't. But I will at some point maybe remedy that. We'll see. Litecoin is a shitcoin, Craig. Yes, it is a shitcoin. All altcoins, you might as well pass on all altcoins. It's just not a way to go. It's best just to buy Bitcoin and pass on the altcoins. Let's see. What is your opinion on Lang Odysseus? I'm not real familiar with them. Let's see. Craig, what's your favorite watch at the $1,000 range? I would probably buy a Seiko Shogun if you want a diver's watch, something like that. I'd probably buy a Seiko Shogun, and you can get it for substantially less than $1,000, I think. I think they list for around $1,000, but I think you can get it for substantially less. Hello, I've owned a 1989 Rolex Day-Date. I've had my Day-Date movement checked because the Day-Date wasn't changing at midnight. It changes about 5 minutes past. That's normal. I've had it checked. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. That's a non-issue. Let's see. So is EOS. Okay. What do you think of Ethereum? I would pass on Ethereum. Pass on Ethereum. Just buy Bitcoin. Don't buy the garbage coins. Don't buy the altcoins. They're pretty much garbage. Let's see. All right, Craig, my Day-Date still has the President bracelet on it. I would never take it off. Okay. I think you started another sentence, but then it stopped. Okay, Craig, in terms of wearing solid gold watches, do you ever feel like it's too much? Now, the Day-Date is fantastic. No, Day-Date is a fantastic everyday watch to wear. That's the only all-gold watch that I've experienced with wearing, and they're fantastic. Great everyday watch. There are never mistakes, just experiences. Some just blow harder. Okay. Craig, what is your thought on Visa stock? You mean like the Visa credit card company? I haven't looked into it at all, so I really just don't have any thoughts on it right now. So yeah. The Odysseus is made by A. Lang & Son. Okay, there you go. 1K is a really tough price point during the house. Boeing stocks are the way to go. Yeah, assuming they don't go belly up. Yeah. Craig, what do you think of Trump? I think he's a showman. I think he's, he is what he is. I don't think that, I really don't think he's the problem. I think the government in general is a problem. They all spend money like drunken sailors. Doesn't matter who they are, who's in there. And I think whoever the president is at any given time is pretty much a figurehead. I don't think he's running things. It's the big lobbyists and the connected individuals and, all those folks that are running the show. So, yeah, it's pretty corrupt. That's how that works. Two of the best watches in the $1,000 range are Stoa Flieger and Stoa Marine. There you go. Trump is the man, says Durr. If the government bails out Boeing and has an ownership stake, there would be no way they would be allowed to buy back their own stock. Okay. Yeah, well, supposedly they're going to restrict any money. It's all ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Truth bombs from Craig on Sunday morning. So it's Sunday where you are. Okay, there you go. Kevin's in the house. Yeah, we're pretty much calling it the way it is on this channel. It looks like that's the way that's working. Well, supposedly and I just refreshed everything just to make sure. we're up to speed. Let's see, what time is it? It's 10 after 6, so we've been going for about an hour. We started late, started 10 minutes late. Let's see, Durr says doesn't like stoas. Durr, okay. Oh boy. There's another time check on the 005. Look into the Presage line of Seiko as well. Stainless steel and titanium, says Peter. And doesn't Citizen make some pretty decent watches up in that price range? The other thing, $1,000, you can get some nice used, now they're not going to be a diver's watch, but you can get some nice used Grand Seikos in that price range. Craig, tell us about the Omega Seamaster 120 you had. I really like them. It was a great watch. Very comfortable on wrist. The one thing I didn't like about that watch is the release on the bracelet. Instead of having the dual pushers, one on either side, it only had one pusher. And occasionally, not often, but occasionally, like I'd move my wrist like this or something, and that pusher would get pushed, and the bracelet would release. Now, it wouldn't fall down or anything like that, right? But it would just release, and I'd to close it back again. So occasionally that would happen. That was really the only thing. Now, it doesn't have micro adjustments, so hopefully you can get it adjusted to fit you. It has half links, and hopefully your wrist doesn't expand and contract a lot. I think when you get older, like my age, I think that happens more than it happened when I was younger. I didn't have as much of a problem when I was younger with my wrist changing sizes. But no, it was a fantastic watch. Mine was the quartz one, so it was very trim, very thin. It could be worn as a dress watch. It had a screw-down crown. I sold it for $600 and something on eBay. It was a one-owner watch. I bought it here at Colonial Jewelers in Frederick. So you see them for anywhere from $600 to $1,000 on eBay, depending on the condition. And I think it's a heck of a watch. It's about a 36 mil watch, about the size of a Datejust 36. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up a photo of mine. Dun, 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 dun. I'm working on it here, folks. I'm working on it. Give me a second. Oh, there's a side view of it. Interesting that I would have that view. Here we go. And you can see how nice and trim it is, and it's got the shoulders on either side of the crown. It's a very solid watch. Very feels very good on wrist. There it is. I have my Harley, and I've got it on wrist there. Okay, and let's see. Let's go the other direction. See, there's the clasp, the butterfly clasp. There's the back of it. Really a nice, solid watch. Now, the other thing that I'm not a big fan of on these is those skeletonized hands. I would rather those hands have been solid. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And it gets, see like how the finish on the bracelet, see how it gets kind of like scratched up looking, sort of. I mean, it's hard to describe, but that's what it gets like. And it just gets like that, and that's the way it's going to be. There it is on wrist. There it is on wrist, playing tennis. The lovely Masha. And I guess that's the last one that I have of that watch. Let's see. Good day, Mr. Chip. Okay, good day. And talking about credit cards, have you used that stunning Apple Card of yours? No. It's sitting right here. It's still sitting here. Titanium. No, I haven't taken it out for a spin yet. I haven't used that puppy yet. Maybe it's, whoops. Oh, shoot. I dropped it. Let's see how strong it is. Butterfingers here today. Butterfingers. So yeah, it's pretty amazing card. Let's see. Speaking of lower price watches, did anyone here get into the SKX007? It seems to be an affordable diver with a reputation. Okay. Not sure which one that is. Tudor Breitling makes some great budget divers. Okay, I would pass on Tudor. As far as luxury watches go, okay, Craig, do you trade IPOS? What is IPOS? What am I missing here? I'm not a trader, but I'm not sure what IPOS is. I'm not hip to that. Awesome. Thanks for the info, RWAGs. Craig, I emailed you a picture of my Rolex 18 karat Oyster Perpetual I'm wearing right now. Okay, so it's the Oyster Perpetual. Okay. Excuse the quality. I'm not a professional like you. Okay, we'll take a look at it in a minute. Kevin Nigel, I have a 007, 009. Way overhyped, way too expensive for what they are. You're paying for the tank of a case, and you get a dial installed by a blind man and a 2-cent movement. There you go. That sounds like that would be one to pass on. Craig, do you think Bill Gates will do a mandatory vaccination? I don't know what you mean by that. Aren't they like $200? Okay, I got mine for $179. The prices have raised because they are discontinued. Yeah, I've heard they're crept up a bit. Okay, so you say not worth it then. Okay, $300 if you're lucky, but if I'm going, okay, good. Initial public offerings. Oh, no. No, I generally don't get in on initial public offerings. I'm not connected enough to get the early scoop on the initial public offer. Now, sometimes I'll buy a stock that goes public like the day it goes public. I'll jump in. Like I bought some Facebook stock when it went public, and then I sold it after it ran up quite a bit. But I don't usually get in on the very initial thing. Why do you pass on to membership? No arguments here, just like hearing how people feel about that. It was never a watch that we would consider back in the day, and I would not want it now. I think there's just much better options. I'd much rather have a Grand Seiko than a Tudor, and you can get Grand Seikos for about the same money. So if it's my money, I always go for the better option. So I would pass on Tudor, and most of them are pretty ugly. The hands on them and stuff are ugly. Now, some of them had the Mercedes hands. Those were pretty decent looking, but generally speaking, they're just a step down, a major step down from a Rolex. So I'd either get a real Rolex, or I would get like an Omega. Some Omegas I would get, like the one I just showed you, or I would probably get a Grand Seiko is what I would do if it were my money. Let's see, no hand winding movements, no hacking. Okay. I also say pass on Tudor during the house. IPO's initial public offering. Yeah, okay, got it. Great watch, 100 is Seiko Alpinist. There you go. On a Tudor, but not the SKX. I always heard nothing but love for them just because of how cheap they are. Seems like Orient. Okay, there we go. I also have, okay, I'm trying to keep up here. On a Tudor, but not, okay. How would you build your dream GS, Craig? Okay, let's look real quick at this picture, and then I'll tell you what my dream GS would be. Yeah, that's a looker. I like that watch. Now, the only thing that would improve that photo is if you turned around and had the light behind you when you took the picture. You're shooting into the light, so you want the light behind the camera, not in front of the camera. But even in that case, it doesn't matter. When you've got an 18 karat gold Rolex oyster case, it's still going to look stunning no matter what the lighting is. Absolutely. That's a cool watch. Okay, my Dream GS. Couple things. Well, first of all, it wouldn't break my heart if this watch was about 12.5 mils thick instead of 14 mils thick. So if they made this watch trimmer, and maybe a little smaller, maybe 42 mils instead of 44, maybe 42 mils for me and thinner, right? And then if they could come up with a clasp that has the same functionality of this, and that's important, the same functionality as this clasp, but is a little trimmer to the wrist, right? And a little more like integrated to the bracelet. You know, sort of like what the Rolex is like, except still maintain the functionality of being able to extend and retract while on wrist. I don't want to have to take it off wrist like you have to with a Rolex. So in an ideal world, that would be my diver. Would just be this watch, a little thinner, a little bit smaller, and improve the clasp. Now all of a sudden you'd have the perfect diver. Now what would I do as far as the 005 stunner? I would give it micro adjustments. Again, with the clasp. I would fix the clasp so that it's just as trim as it is now. I want it just as trim on wrist as it is now. And that one's very trim on the wrist. But I want 4 micro adjustments on that bracelet. And that would probably be it for that. Then as far as a dress watch, I would take this 002, and I'd put an 18 karat gold bracelet on it. A stunning 18 karat gold bracelet on that puppy. And that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that would be like 3 amazing stunners right there. Just like that. Craig, look into Bill Gates and his vaccination agenda. Wants to do mandatory vaccination for this coronavirus, aka Mark of the Beast. There you go. Grand Seiko is just a fantastic brand. There you go. Grand Seiko is greater than Tudor. Oh, absolutely. Only an idiot would buy a Tudor. Uh-oh. Now come on. Let's not get nasty here. Well, I've never been the brightest. I do own one. Okay. The only time I tutor is when I eat a whole can of baked beans. Haha. There you go. I got beans cooking right now. They're actually finishing up right now. I've been cooking for 6 hours in the crock pot. That's a crock of you know what. Okay, so my Dream GS is the one I own, SBGA 229 in titanium, with the same type of clasp that's on Rolex James Cameron with screw-in links. Yeah, see, the problem with the screw-in links is that's actually a downgrade, because the beauty of the pin and collar system, like on this bracelet here, is it gives you more flexibility because that pin actually floats in there. And it also prevents the wear and tear that you get with the screw, the fixed screw going through, right? The fixed screw going through there. It will cause more wear and tear because it can't float. And also a screw can possibly back out and you can actually lose your watch that way. So actually the pin and collar system, which is what this has, is actually an upgrade from a screw system. Now a lot of the watch pundits who don't actually wear watches all the time and just talk about watches, they don't understand the benefit of the pin and collar system. And so they're pretty clueless on that. But that is the case. It actually is a better solution. As long as you have micro adjustments, you shouldn't have to adjust that more than once. You shouldn't have to adjust your bracelet more than once. Then after that, seasonally, for seasonal adjustments like spring and fall, the micro adjustments should be fine. That's why they should include micro adjustments on all the watches. This one has them. All the older Rolexes all had micro adjustments. They should have never gotten away from having micro adjustments on these bracelets. They should all have it. One way or the other, they should have it. Grand Seiko does great sport pieces, but their dress pieces are where they really shine. There you go. They're just an exceptional brand. Okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. I own one too. We all make mistakes during the house. Yeah, get rid of the tutor, but best to sell those tutors. What is that blue Citizen beside the 002? I'm not sure. You can go to this link, a blog to watch, their article, and you can click on it and check it out. Steve's a Citizen dealer, by the way. So he can help you out with Citizens also. Let's hope GS was listening. They don't listen, and they don't give a rat's rear end what I say. Craig, did you make your own baked beans? What's that recipe? They're actually black beans that I'm cooking, and I just put a bunch of seasoning in there and all, and I cook them, and then I eat them with different dishes. I cook a batch that's enough to last me about a week, and I just put them with different dishes. Like if I have like a sweet potato and some fish or something, I'll have some black beans with it. So I just kind of have them with it as a, just to augment whatever it is that I'm eating, because they're very nutritious. But I don't have a particular recipe. I just have a bunch of spices that I put in there. I don't put like molasses and stuff like that in there, but just some spices. And then whatever I'm eating them with is usually adds to the flavor. But black beans are pretty nutritious and just pretty good to eat. So that's what I do. And then sometimes I cook navy beans, so I cook different kinds. Let's see. Grand Seiko needs to bring back the SBGX 117. Okay. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon here, by the way. So put any questions you have in there. Just go ahead and do that. That would make the Day-Date look like a toy against a full 18002. Wow. Let's see. Stunning. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Peter's in the house. Yes, it would be stunning. Are watch prices going to drop after the whole Corona thing? Oh, my gosh. You're going to see a lot of blood in the street. And a lot of these speculators that bought a bunch of steel Rolexes and paid way too much money for them, you're going to see some deals on some steel Rolexes. I can tell you that right now. So anybody that has steel Rolexes right now as an investment, they better get out while the getting is good. Get out anytime you can get out. David Williams, the only thing that really turns me off about the 231 is the gold logo on the dial. Oh man, I think the gold looks sexy. I think the gold is sexy. Yeah. Sent you a picture. Okay, we'll check it out. SBJ 293 is my favorite dress casual watch from Grand Seiko. Okay, we'll take a look real quick on that. Let me go back and look at the my inbox and see if I've got something here. little humor there, little humor. Okay, so let's see if we can pull up that other model number, and then we're going to call this a day. And it was a SBGA 293. Three, 293. Ba 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 boom. Ba 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 boom. Ba 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 boom. Yeah, that's a good looking watch. And not a bad price. Let's see how thick it is. Let's see how thick it is. 12.8 mils thick. So yeah, that could be pushed into a dress watch situation. It's a 40 mil watch, so it's a little bit big. So you have to have a decent sized wrist to pull that puppy off. But yeah, that could be absolutely. That could be pushed into a dress watch situation. Does it have a screw down crown? Let's see here. Doesn't say there. Movement. Doesn't say there. Functions. It is 10 bar. So maybe it's got a screw down crown. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Okay. Let's see. Craig, if we don't end up like the dinosaurs within the next few months, do we know if Steve has any more watch events coming up? That's a good question. You know, Steve, a week ago, I had him, I don't even know if it was a week ago, but anyway, not yesterday, but the time before that he was here on this channel. I basically told him, I said, you know, we're soldiering on. I'm going to move on. This whole thing is not going to affect me. I'm going to move forward. And I asked him if he was going to do the same. And oh yeah, we're marshaling forward and blah blah blah. And but then I talked to him today, and he sounds pretty down. So we'll see. This is a fluid situation. And we'll see. He's got heavy rent there. He's got a lot of overhead. And if they shut him down, which it sounds like that's the way it's going, everything in Maryland is being shut down. We shall see. It's a very fluid situation right now. So, I don't know. And I don't know. Like I say, today he told me that he doesn't know if his watch shipment is going to come in the end of the month, including the 002. So, this is just, we just don't know. We just don't know. Okay. Did Brianna find a watch? Not yet. We haven't found a watch for her yet. And if I'm not going there to pick up the 002, then I'm not bringing her with me to pick up the 002, in which case I won't have an opportunity to find a watch for her. So, yeah, that could be an issue too. So we shall see what we shall see. See it all on this channel. Kyle in the house. Craig, what's your favorite watch complication? Mine is a power reserve during the house. Well, I will particularly like having the power reserve if I do get the 002, and that's becoming more and more of an if. Not my fault, folks. Not my fault. I'm ready, willing, and able. Okay? Not my fault. But anyway, I like having one on a manual wine watch like that for sure, because you know, you can check and see where you stand. And if I was not wearing this as often as I am, then it would be nice to have the power reserve on here that I have. But right now, I mean, this power reserve is always pegged full. It's always full all the time. So, because this spends most of the time on my wrist, right? But yes, it is convenient to look and see and make sure that you've got plenty of power. And it's not distracting. People are like, oh, I wouldn't want that on the front. Yeah, like it's on the front on mine right here, right? It's not distracting at all. You tune it out. You don't pay any attention to it when you don't need it. It's just there when you need it. So yeah, I like the power reserve. I agree with that. And I used to like having the date, but since my eyes are not as good as they used to be, having the date is not a big deal. If everything shuts down, send real estate Rachel to come live with me. Durr in the house. Uh-oh. Durr's moving in on a married woman there. Uh-oh. Watch out for that. She is pretty much all that. These episodes are keeping me going during this. Kyle in the house. So glad they are. Oh, so glad they're happening. Okay, well, I'm going to do my best to keep marshaling on. But like I say, I might be the only one. The rate we're going. But we will do the best we can. Thanks everybody for tuning in. See the links in the description on the chat. And make sure that you click the subscribe bell, and do go ahead and follow the lovely Brianna at briefitdance.com, briefitdance.com. And if you are kind and generous, sign up as a Patreon and help support her creativity, help support her creativity. And one more last check on the GMT. We've been going for an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half, because we did start a little bit late. But we've been going an hour and a half. So let me pull this up here, and we will wrap this puppy up. It's been a good broadcast. And Kevin says, great show, thanks. There you go. Absolutely. Positively. And until next time, again, click the subscribe and click that bell so you'll get a notification.